Guys, I want to give a thanks to H&H Survival. We got the package yesterday, and there's some killer stuff in there. I really appreciate it. The boys wanted me to tell you thank you for the survival bracelets you and your girlfriend made them. They fussed and fought for a little while about who's getting what colors, and they finally got that settled. But thanks. The knife, killer knife. Good and sharp. I like the knife. You did get me in trouble though. That little flashlight, I turned it on and I blinded myself. And my wife came in from work. I said, "Hey, honey, check this light out." She got to it and I hit it real quick and blinded her. Yeah, I found it funny, but she got kind of pissed off at me. "Why'd you do that for?" Hell, I thought it was funny. But anyway, so you got me in trouble. Anyway, I really do appreciate it. You should be getting those ammo pouches. Uh, I talked to the post office, and they said it should be there either Wednesday, Thursday at the latest. So let me know when they come in. And again, thank you, man. It was pretty cool. There's some pretty cool items in there. Um, I want to talk about something. Everybody knows what happened over in England. Those kids going to that concert and everything. And my heart goes to you, parents and brothers and sisters and everything over there. I, I hope everybody's doing okay. And I hope you guys get justice. And I, I really do. I hope you guys get justice for that attack, because that's a bullshit attack. It's a coward attack. But you are talking about ISIS. They rape little boys and little girls, make them feel like men, and they are a bunch of cowards. So, I would like to meet some of them. They wouldn't like me afterwards. They're Allah and they're Homid, Homie or what, Muhammad. You know, that's pig shit in my eyes, and I hope it pisses them off me saying it, because that was a cowardly attack. Those are kids. You don't mess with kids like that. That was kids going to a concert just to enjoy themselves, and they're a bunch of damn coward. I'm not even going there. But anyway, my heart bleeds for you guys. And that brings me to, do you think this summer is going to be a bad summer? I mean, was that attack the kickoff for more? Is that going to lead to more bombings, more, of their crazy crap? Last summer was pretty wild. And I always said this summer is going to be another unpredictable one. Everybody, don't let your guard down, because, strangely enough, what, a month or so ago, it was all over the news. Trump and North Korea, Trump and North Korea, Trump and North Korea, Trump and North Korea. Then all of a sudden it went away. And a couple of days ago, North Korea shot that missile off. Now this happened. And it seems like our governments, I'm not just talking about the USA government, I'm talking about all the other governments. When something big is fixing to happen, they always try to pull our attention elsewhere to get our focus like off of North Korea. So they have these terrorist attacks all of a sudden happens. I don't know. I find it pretty suspicious of that. Have you guys thought about that? Have you seen, you know, stuff like that? Have you noticed it with our governments? Just trying to cover up, or I don't know the word I'm looking for, but something like I said, this summer is going to be rough, and everybody, you know, prep, stock, just get everything done that you can get done and get prepared in case something does happen, because you guys know if something happens like that around here, martial law is going to go into effect, because that's what the elites are wanting. They're wanting something to happen so they can declare martial law, so they can come in and they can take your prep item, your food and your medical, and take your guns, and just basically say, well, this area ain't safe. You need to go to a FEMA camp. That's what they're pushing. I don't know. I don't know. It's something. I just got a gut feeling it's just going to keep getting more and more and more and more. And this summer is going to be something for the record books. I mean, look at last summer, all the protests, all the violence, all the destruction, It seems like every year it keeps getting worse and worse. Guys, there's all kinds of festivals and concerts going on around here. You got baseball games going on around here. And then in August, you'll have, towards the end of August, beginning of September, you'll have football. Watch yourself. If you go to those events, watch yourself. Keep a vigilance on other people. If somebody's acting suspicious, report them. If you can't find nobody to report, get your family, get your friends, and get the hell out of the area. I mean, it ain't worth it. Just leave until you can find somebody to report it, and then report it, and then stay away. But like I said, what do you guys think? Do you think this summer could be pretty bad for us? The economy ain't doing too hot right now. I don't know if you guys have it's called Save a Lot. I don't know if it's a Southern thing or not, but it's like an off-brand grocery store. And a lot of people shop there because, they had cheap prices on generic food. It wasn't name brand. All of it wasn't name brand. There's a lot of, generic food. And people shop there. They closed them down. That's the second one. There's one in Leonard City, closed down, and there's one here in Alcoa, just closed down. Sears is getting ready to go under. I don't know, I got a bad feeling it's going to get even worse. Guys, this summer, only thing I can tell you guys to do is prep, store, stock, and get ready, because it might not happen this summer. It could happen in the fall or dead of winter. Right now is the time to get more prepared. And because I don't know, this summer, just got a feeling about this summer. It's going to be bad for everybody. I say there will be more terrorist attacks here and abroad, and people all over Europe and here, everywhere, need to open their eyes. Report them if you see them. If you see somebody pulling a gun, that's going to be a call on you if you want to step in and intervene and take them out. If I was by myself, I probably would, but if I had my family with me, I would get my family out of harm's way. But you know, that's a judgment call everybody will have to make on their own. Um, you know, I used to go to events like that, you know, festivals and concerts and stuff like that. But when I did go, you know, you couldn't carry a gun, you couldn't carry a knife. So when I did go, I would I'd crotch a knife, or I would put a knife in my shoe or something like that. And when I got into them, I'd go to the bathroom, take it out, and I'd have it at hand where it'd be easy access. Nobody knew I had it. But I don't go to them anymore because it's just not worth the risk, you know. It's not. It's not worth the risk of me taking my family to somewhere like that and some retard pulls a gun or drives a truck through the crowd or blows up stuff, you know. I'll keep my butt right here. We entertain ourselves real good here. But guys, I'm telling you, be careful, be safe, be smart. Don't get caught with your pants down. Don't get caught blindsided. Tell me what you guys think. You know, tell me, am I right? Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me how you guys see it. You know, I don't care if you disagree with me, that is fine. I have no problem with anybody disagreeing with me, you know, because in our disagreements, we're going to learn from one another. We might learn some new information through our disagreements, and that helps us in the long run. So tell me what do you guys see coming? Do you see something happening, or do you not see something happening? You know, I'm still kind of worried about North Korea because all of a sudden it just went away. You know, because it was Trump and North Korea is heading for action, you know. Hell, I was prepared for World War III to happen. Then all of a sudden it just kind of, it was like this, then it just went. And you've heard something a couple of days ago about them shooting off a missile, but nothing else. Now you've got these terrorist attacks. Something's up. The elites of all nations are playing their games. And it's going to be bad for us, guys. So just be careful. Watch yourself. I mean, I don't want nobody to get hurt. I don't want nobody to get killed. You know, I want everybody to make it. You know, just get ready, get prepared, and, you know, use your head. Think, watch, listen. Because I feel so sorry for those parents and relatives of those kids that got hurt over there or got killed. That's pathetic. And I meant what I said about those devil worship and ISIS. I meant it 100%. And YouTube probably won't like it, and they probably will demonetize this video like they did a couple other videos. I really don't give a rat's ass. I'm not making this video to be advertisement friendly. I'm making it for my sub friends to be safe. And maybe they haven't thought about it. That's why I'm making this video. It's not to make money off of it. Hell, I haven't made a dime off of YouTube since I've been on here. So YouTube's a scam anyway. But they're trying to control people. What you can say, what you can't say. I'm not the controlling type. I speak my mind. And like I said, I'm not on here to make a dime. I'm on here to help my sub friends make it. And I'm on here to learn from my sub friends. So, piss on YouTube. But, sorry, it's a rant. I'm tired. We've been busting our butts past 2 days. And I'm going to get off of here. Just leave a comment below. Tell me what you guys think. Everybody, be safe. Keep preparing. That's all I think I can tell you guys. Till the next one. Bye for now.